Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magdanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapata Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashadya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Tato Jayamudirayet, Srinvatam Svakata Krishna, Punyashravana Kirtana, Nityantastoya Bhadrani, Vidunati Suhritsatam, Nastapráyesva Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktirbhavati Naistiki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the person of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personal of Godhead, who is the Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the person of Godhead who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. And the Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki jai, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Text number 19. Namayana shite bhunkte nashnate shnati mat para mairushte susantrasta barchite yatavag bayat. Na, never. Mayi, when I, Anashite, had not eaten. Bunkte, she would eat. Na, never. Ashnate, had not taken bath. Snati, she would take her bath. Matpara, always devoted to me. Mayi, when I. Rushte was angry. Susantrashta, very much frightened. Barchite, when I chastised. Yatavag, fully controlled of words. Bayat, out of fear. Translation. King Puranjan then began to think of his past dealings with his wife. He recalled that his wife would not take her dinner until he had finished his, that she would not take her bath until he had finished his, and that she was always very much attached to him. So much so that if he would sometimes become angry and chastise her, she would simply remain silent and tolerate his misbehavior. Purport. A wife is always supposed to be submissive to her husband. Submission, mild behavior, and subservience are qualities in a wife which make a husband very thoughtful of her. For family life, it is very good for a husband to be attached to his wife, but it is not very good for spiritual advancement. Thus, Krishna consciousness must be established in every home. If a husband and wife are very much attached to one another in Krishna consciousness, they will be both benefited because Krishna is the center of their existence. Otherwise, if the husband is too much attached to his wife, he becomes a woman in his next life. The woman being overly attached to her husband becomes a man in her next life. Of course, it is an advantage of a woman to become a man, but it is not at all very advantageous to the man to become a woman. Text number 20. Prabodhyayati ma vignam yushite shokakarshita vartmaitat grihamediyam virashura pinashyati. Prabodhyati gives good counsel, ma unto me, avignam foolish, yushite all the time of my being away. Shoka by agreement. Harshita being aggrieved and thus Avignam foolish, Vyushita at the time of being, Avai Shoka by agreement, Karshita being aggrieved and thus dried up, Vatma Pat, Etad this, Grihamediyam of household responsibilities, Vidashu, the mother of great heroes, Api Aldo, Nishyati, will she be able to execute? Translation. King Puranjan continued thinking how, when he was in a state of bewilderment, King Puranjan continued thinking how, when he was in a state of bewilderment, his wife would give him good counsel. King Puranjan continued thinking how, when he was in a state of bewilderment, his wife would give him good counsel and how she would become aggrieved when he was away from home. Although she was the mother of so many sons and heroes, the king still feared that she would not be able to maintain the responsibility of household life, household affairs. February. At the time of death, King Puranjan was thinking of his wife, and this is called polluted consciousness. As Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Mamai Vamso Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manasastrandrin Manasasthanindriyani Prakritestani Karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Bhagavad Gita 15:7. The living entity is, after all, part and parcel of the Supreme Spirit, Krishna. In other words, Krishna's constitutional position and the living entity's constitutional position are at the same qualitatively. The only difference is that the living entity is eternally an atomic particle. The living entity is, after all, part and parcel of the Supreme Spirit, Krishna. In other words, Krishna's constitutional position and the living entity's constitutional position are the same qualitatively. The only difference is that the living entity is eternally an atomic particle of the Supreme Spirit. Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. In this material world of conditional life, the fragmental position of the Supreme Lord, the individual soul is struggling due to his contaminated mind and consciousness. As part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, a living entity is supposed to think of Krishna. But here we see that King Puranjan, the living entity, is thinking of a woman. Such mental absorption with some sense object brings about the living entity's struggle for existence in this material world. Since King Puranjan is thinking of his wife, his struggle for existence in the material world will not be ended by death. As revealed in the following verses, King Puranjan had to accept the body of a woman in his next life due to being overly absorbed in thoughts of his wife. Thus, mental absorption in social, political, pseudo-religious, national, communal consciousness is cause of bondage. During one's lifetime, one has to change his activities in order to attain release from bondage. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Yagnartat karmano nitra lokayam karma bandhana tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Work done as sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work binds one to this material world. Therefore, son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain unattached and free from bondage. Bhagavad Gita 3.9. If we do not change our consciousness in this life, whatever we do in the name of social, political, religious, or communal and national welfare will be the cause of our bondage. This means we have to continue in material conditional life. When the mind and senses are engaged in material activities, one has to continue his When the mind and senses are engaged in material activities, one has to continue his material existence and struggle to attain happiness. In each and every life, one is engaged in struggle to become happy. Actually, no one in this material world is happy, but the struggle gives a false sense of happiness. A person must work very hard, and he attains the result of his hard work. He thinks himself, and when he attains, he thinks himself to be happy. In the material world, people do not know what real laziness is. Real happiness is to be attained by transcendental senses. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyanatmani tushyati sukamatyantikam yattat buddhigraham grahyam antindriyam vetti chatranu chaivayam stitaschati tatvata yam labdva chapram labam manyate
Hare Krishna.
nadam tada yasminstine dukkena guruna api vichalyate tam tya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga samnitam.
Hare
In this
Krishna, Prabhu's principles and humble
oh,
obeisances of Mr.
Hare
Srila
Krishna,
Prabhupada.
Krishna Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Can I
Who wants
read
to
after you?
continue? Yes, you can continue from this part, Prabhu.
Okay, yes, Prabhu, because I still need to read more for the sadhana chat. Oh, you're with Praveen Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Praveen Prabhu. Please accept humble
Hare
obeisances of
Krishna,
Mr.
Praveen Prabhu, Tanda Prabhu, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Swami Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Levan Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Haribo.
Please continue, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, Haribo. In In the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. This is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish then and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness and enjoys himself through transcendental senses established. Thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. Bhagavad Gita 6.22-23. Thus, real happiness must be appreciated by one's transcendental senses. Unless one is purified, the transcendental senses are not manifest. Therefore, to purify the senses, one must take to Krishna consciousness and engage the senses in the service of the Lord. Then there will be real happiness and liberation. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Shariram yad avapnoti yakchapi uktaram tishvara gritvatani samyati vayurgandan ivashat. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Bhagavad Gita 15.8. If the wind passes over a garden of roses, it will carry the aroma of roses, and it passes over a filthy place, it will carry the stench of obnoxious things. Similarly, King Puranjan, the living entity, now passes. Can go down, Prabhu. The air of his life over his wife. A woman, therefore, okay, the heir of his life over his wife. A woman, therefore, he has to accept the body of a woman in his next life. Katam nu darak dina darakri vaparayanaha vartishyante maigate bina nava ivo dadau. Synonyms: katam, how, nu, indeed, darakaha, sons, dinaha, poor, daraki, daughters, va, or apara, yanaha, having no one else to depend on, vartishyante, vartishyante, will live, mai, when when I gate gone, gate, not gate, gate gone from this world, bina broken, nava boat, iva like udadahu. Oh, bravo. Udadahu. In the ocean, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. King Puranjan continued worrying, after I pass from this world, how will my sons and daughters who are now fully dependent on me live and continue their lives? Their position will be similar to that of passengers aboard a ship wrecked in the midst of the ocean. Purport: at the time of death, every living entity worries about what will happen when they die. Can go down, Prabhu. To his wife and children. Similarly, a politician also worries about what will happen to his country or his political party. Unless one is fully Krishna conscious, he has to accept a body in the next life according to his particular state of consciousness. Since Puranjan is thinking of his wife and children and is overly engrossed in thoughts of his wife, he will accept the body of a woman. Similarly, a politician or so-called nationalist who is inordinately attached to the land of his birth will certainly be reborn in the same land after ending his political career. One's next life will also be affected by the acts one performs during this life. Sometimes politicians act most sinfully for their own sense gratification. It is not unusual for a politician to kill their opposing party, even though a politician may be allowed to take birth in his so-called homeland. He still has to undergo suffering due to his sinful activities in his previous life. This science of transmigration is completely unknown to modern scientists. So-called scientists do not like to bother with these things because if they would at all consider this subtle subject matter and their problem of life, they would see that their future is very dark. Thus, they try to avoid considering the future and continue committing all kinds of sinful activities in the name of social, political, and national necessity. Text 22. Evam kripanya buddhya. Is it buddhya? Evam kripanya buddhya shochatam atat aranam grahitum gritadihirna enam baya nama baya padyata. Baya nama bya padyata. Okay. Synonyms: ever, thus, kripanaya, not kripanya. Kripanaya, miserly, Buddha, intelligence, shochantam, lamenting, atat aranam, on which he should not have lamented, grahitum, in order to arrest, kritadihi, the determined king of the Yavanas, inam, him, baya nama, whose name was fear, abhyapadyata, came there immediately. Translation: although King Puranjan should not have lamented over the fate of his wife and children, he nonetheless did so due to his miserly intelligence. In the meantime, Yavana Raja, whose name was Fear itself, immediately drew near to arrest him. Purport: foolish people do not know that every individual soul is responsible for his own actions and reactions in life. As long as a living entity in the form of a child or boy is innocent, it is the duty of the father and the mother to lead him into a proper understanding of the values of life. When a child is grown, it should be left up to him to execute the duties of life properly. The parents after his death cannot help his child. A father may leave some estate for his children's immediate help, but he should not be overly absorbed in thoughts of how his family will survive after his death. This is the disease of the conditioned soul. Not only does he commit sinful activities for his own sense gratification, but he accumulates great wealth to leave behind so that his children may also gorgeously arrange for sense gratification. Gorgeously arranged. In any case, everyone is afraid of death, and therefore death is called baya, or fear. Although King Puranjan was engaged in thinking of his wife and children, death did not wait for him. Death does not wait for any man. It will immediately carry out its duty. Since death must take away the living entity without hesitation, it is the ultimate God realization of the atheists who spoil their lives thinking of country, society, and relatives to the neglect of God consciousness. In this verse, the word atad aranam is very significant, for it means that one should not be overly engaged in welfare activities for one's family members, countrymen, society, and community. None of these will help a person to advance spiritually. Unfortunately, in present day society, so-called educated men have no idea what spiritual progress is. Although they have the opportunity in the human form of life to make spiritual progress, they remain misers. They use their lives improperly and simply waste their thinking about the material welfare of their relatives, countrymen, society, and so on. One's actual duty is to learn how to conquer death. Lord Krishna states the process of conquering death in Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvataha tyaktva deham purna janma na iti mam iti sorjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. After giving up this body, one who is fully Krishna conscious does not accept another material body, but returns home back to Godhead. Everyone should try to attain this perfection. Unfortunately, instead of doing so, people absorbed in thoughts of society, friendship, love, and relatives. This Krishna consciousness movement, however, is educating people throughout the world and informing them how to conquer death. Harim vina na stritim taranti. One cannot conquer death without taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 23. The tune here. Pashuvad yavanai esha niyamanas vakam kshayam anvadravan anupat patat sho chanto brisham attara. What's that first one, Prabhu? Pashudvad. Semi Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Pashuvat.
Pashuvat or not Pashuvat. I want to emphasize the U. Okay, Pashuvat, like an animal. Yavanai. By the Yavanas. Eshaha Puranjan. Ni Niyamanaha. Being arrested and taken away Swakam to their own Kshamayam abode Anvadaravan. Anvadaravan. Followed Anupatahaya, his attendants. Shochantaha, lamenting, Brisham, greatly, Aturaha, being distressed. Translation: when the Yavanas were taking King Puranjan away to their place, binding him like an animal, the king's followers became greatly aggrieved while they lamented. They were forced to go alone with him. Purport: when Yamaraj and his assistants take a living entity away to the place of judgment, the life, earth, and desire, being followers of the living entity, also go with him. This is confirmed in the Vedas. When the living entity is taken away or arrested by Yamaraj, tam ukram uk, ut, ukta, ukramantam, ukramantam. The life air also goes with him. Prano nukratam. Prano nuk. This one. Nutkramati. Nutkramati. And when the life air is gone, pranam. Anuk. Anutkramantam. And all the senses, sarve pranaha, also go along. Anukramanti. When the living entity and the life air are gone, the lamp of matter produced of 5 elements, earth, water, air, fire, and ether, is rejected and left behind. The living entity then goes to the court of judgment, and Yamaraj decides what kind of body he is going to get next. The process is unknown to the modern scientist. Every living entity is responsible for his activities in this life, and after death, he is taken to the court of Yamaraj, where it is decided what kind of body he will take next. Although the gross material body is left, the living entity and his desires, as well as the resultant reactions of his past activities, goes on. It is Yamaraj who decides what kind of body one gets next in accordance with one's past actions. Semi Prabhu or Pravin Prabhu, whoever knows, like if one, like let's say the super soul, usually you remember, okay, like when we are into devotional service, right? We spark the super soul like on. It's like, yes, the super soul is always within each and every living entity, right? But
Yes,
then
Prabhu.
to a devotee, it's like you activate it, right? You activate this, like Lord Krishna inside your heart, right?
What you mean,
Is it
Prabhu?
something like, do you activate the Paramatma in you? And then, like, as you can observe the Lord in the Paramatma state, can you actually,
No, what do you mean by activating the super soul?
like, let's say, like, okay, like, let's say, like, I remember there was a question to Srila Prabhupada, can you see Krishna? And then he said, yes, Krishna is everywhere, like, some, like a statement like that. So I
Okay.
was saying, so like, when you are doing bhakti yoga, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
It seems as if everything is in line with you. Like, I don't know what I can say. Senses, demigods, and everything. It's like everything is in line, whatever you need. So it's
No,
like something
see,
has been.
the point of practicing bhakti yoga is to purify in your senses, your existing material senses, in order for you to witness the God eye to eye. Unless the
Oh,
senses are purified, you will not be able to see the God face to face, see Krishna face to face.
oh yes, yes, Prabhu.
That's why
Cause yeah,
you need this bhakti yoga process, okay, so that at some point of time down the line, maybe in this life or next life, all your senses will be purified. Okay, they will become eligible to hear the God or to see the God.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu. Okay, so like you remember there's a state of bhava, right? Like there are different types of taste, like, you know. So I thought like there are people who realize God as like Brahman, and then there are those who realize him as Paramatma,
Hmm.
right? And then there are those who know him as Bhagavan. Usually it's devotees who see him as the personal form, right?
Yes,
Right,
Prabhu.
right.
So I thought like actually it's stages. Like let's say maybe when you are still trying to be consistent, you actually activate like the Lord listens to you through the heart. But then it's like once you have elevated through the heart, that's when you go to the personal form. Like once you advance, like let's say now you can no longer fall down. You have reached the stage of maybe Madhya.
In fact, definitely Bhagavan form is the ultimate form. Okay. Once you
Yes, yes,
achieve that form, okay, that is the final stage. You don't need to achieve anything beyond that. That's for
yes,
sure.
yes, sir.
Okay. So, but
Yes,
as
yes.
far as the other forms like super soul or Brahman forms are concerned, there are high chances that you will fall down ultimately, even though you achieve those forms.
Oh, yes, yes,
That's the
bro.
reason why devotees or even senior devotees or Prabhupada or any sages will definitely ask you to reach the ultimate form, which is nothing but the Bhagavan form.
Yes, yes, bro. Okay, because I thought like it was something like as the Lord witnesses you as the super soul in the heart, actually while you are
No,
taking action.
see, the Lord is already witnessing you. He's already
Ye-
observing you, even though you
Yes, yes.
cannot realize him. But the point is, once your senses are purified, you can get the guidance or direction from the Lord directly within your heart.
Oh, yes, yes, bro.
You cannot see, even though shastras say that the God is really guiding you within your heart, you cannot realize it immediately because the senses are contaminated at this point
Impure.
of
Oh,
time.
yes. It's like they're Maya, ne? It's like they've been.
Exactly. Yes, yes, you
Yes,
are
yes,
covered by Maya. Once that
yes, yes.
Maya is completely wiped out, you will directly interact with the God face to
Oh,
face or
yes,
eye
yes,
to eye.
bro. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, like, like the question is like, since you can hear the instructions of the Lord since once Maya is removed, it's like I thought I was actually trying to say, well, isn't it like he comes with his administrator? Actually, he's sitting with his administrator. You are able to witness his administrators. Like, since we, like, I was looking at the Achaman, since we do the Achaman, we have like Om Tirvikarmaya Namaha, Om Madhusudana Namaha, like something like it's like a
Hmm.
salutation to the senses, you know? So I was thinking, as he sits in the super soul, he comes with his administrators inside of you as you are getting cleansed, you know? I thought it in that kind of that way.
But why do you need to have administrators when the Lord is directly interacting with you, when the Lord is directly guiding you?
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu.
See all these names: Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Rishikesa, Padmanabha, Damodara. Okay, all these are another names of the same Lord.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. That I understand. Like when you water like a tree, it already fulfills the whole tree. Like
Hmm.
worshiping Lord Krishna already fulfills all the, you know, all the administrators and everything.
All the administrators, including the demigods.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that
Okay,
I
but
understand.
all
Yes,
these 24 names of are nothing but the other names of the same Lord.
oh,
Don't think
yes,
they're
yes, Prabhu.
totally little different. But see, uh, capacity wise, they may vary. The Lord's names may vary, but ultimately, all these are the names of the same Lord.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that I understand, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Haribo. I think we're going to a new one, ne, Prabhu? New verse, text 24.
Yes, please continue.
Haribo. Purim viha yo pagata uparuto bhujanagamaha Yatwam evanupuri vishrna praktim gata. Can I just try? Purim vihayo pagata uparuddo bujangamaha yat tam evanupuri vishrina praktim gata. Semi Prabhu, can you chant this? I lost the tune here. Purim vihayo gopagata. Are you there, Semi Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Are you trying to calculate
No, Prabhu.
the meter?
What happened? I didn't hear.
Oh, I wanted you to chant it, like to hear. I wanted to hear the tune.
Purim vihayo. Wait. Purim vihayo pagata uparuddo pujangama yadatam evanupuri vishirna prakritim gata.
Aribo.
I don't know, Prabhu.
Okay,
It's the normal one.
Vishnar. Sorry, Prabhu.
It's the regular tune, Prabhu.
But
But
yeah,
this
but
one
then I
was
lost.
hard. This first word was hard.
No, Vihayo Paga. Yeah,
Let me
you
try,
stuck.
Prabhu. Let me try this one.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Purim vihayopagata uparuddho bhujangamah yada tam evanupuri vishirna prakritim gata.
Oh
Haribo.
yes, a different one, Aribo. Can you do it? Is it possible, Prabhu? Like, let's say if a sloka is like this small, is it possible to try it with Brahma Samhita? Like, let's say these two lines you
No.
chant with. It's not possible.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Because see, anyhow, I don't want to go into the details. See, this meter is nothing but chandas, okay, something related to grammar. Okay, if you
Yes,
have
yes.
see, every chandas has different what is a tune. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes, Prabhu.
if there are only 8 letters, that is called anushtup chandas. Okay, so then the tune will be different. If there are some 12 letters in each line, okay, in each sentence or stanza, then you will have a different chandas, and so that the ultimately the tune will be totally different. Okay, you
Oh,
cannot
yes,
have the
yes.
same tune applied on every sloka or in every chandas.
Oh,
Okay,
yes, yes,
everything is
Prabhu.
totally different. Okay, that depends on
Oh,
chandas.
yes, yes. Oh, yes, Prabhu. And when you speak of what do you call this? Did you say stanzas or what? Like the 8 letter,
Ah,
what do you call it? Yes, it's actually, I think I heard it from a senior devotee that it's actually the standard, that is actual, the word sloka represents that number 8.
that is anushtup chandas. Okay, there are eight letters in each line.
Oh, yes, yes.
That is
Yeah, that,
anushtup. Okay, basically Bhagavad Gita is of anushtup chandas. So that's why you mostly find 8 letter lines. Okay, mostly,
oh, yes, yes.
not all, not all. There are some
Not
other
all, yes.
chandas related verses as well, but mostly it is anushtup.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Haribo.
Thank you, Hare Bol.
Hey, you studied a lot, Prabhu. How many books did you read? I'm sure you finished all of them. You're
No, in fact,
repeating them.
I went to do this Sanskrit training a few years ago. That's why I knew a little bit about Sanskrit.
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, now synonyms: Purim, the city; Vihaya, having given up; Upa Gataha, gone out; Upa Rudaha, arrested; Bujan Gamaha, sorry, the serpent; Yada when tam him, ever certainly; Anu, after; Puri, the city; Vishrna, Vishrna, scattered; Praktim, Meta, Gata, turned into. Translation: the serpent who had already been arrested by the soldiers of Yavana Yavana Raja, and was out of the city, began to follow his master along with the others. As soon as they all left the city, it was immediately dismantled and smashed to dust. Purport: when the living entity is arrested, all his followers, namely the life air, the senses, and the sense objects, immediately leave the lump of matter. The body, when the body, when the living entity has his leave the body no longer works but turns into basic material elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. When a city attacked by enemies is vacated by its inhabitants, the enemies immediately takes advantage of that city and bombards it to smash. The whole thing they bombard to ash. I know what the whole thing to dust. They bombard the whole thing to dust. When we say dust though art, and unto dust thou shall return, we refer to the body. When a city is attacked and bombarded by enemies, the citizens generally leave and the city ceases to exist. It is a foolish person who engages in improving the condition of a city without caring for the citizens or inhabitants. Similarly, a living entity who is not properly enlightened in spiritual knowledge simply takes care of the external body, not knowing that the spirit soul is the principal factor within the body. When one is advanced in spiritual knowledge, the spirit soul is saved from eternal transmigration. The Bhagavatam considers those who are attached to their bodies to be like cows and asses. Sa evam go karaha. The cow is a very innocent animal and the ass a beast of burden. One who labors under the bodily conception simply works like an ass and does not know his self-interest. It is therefore said, yeah, this is Brahma Samhita, right? Yasyat mabudi kuna patrida tu kena. I don't think so. Is it Sami Prabhu?
Yes,
Oh,
Prabhu.
which one is that? Yasyat mabuda hi kuna petrida tu ke. Oh, I don't know it, but Swadihi kalaktra dishu uma ijadi yatre tabudi salile nakar ichije. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Kar ichije na na isha na isha ba na isha abi geshu sa eva gokara. Can you try it, Semi Prabhu or Pravin Prabhu? Yasyat mabudi guna
यस्यात्मबुद्धि कुणपेत्रि धातुके स्वदि कलत्रादिषु भौम इच्छति यतीर्थबुद्धिः सलिलेन कर्हिचित् यज्ञेष्वभिघ्नेषु स एव गोकरा.
Ribos. Pandit G.
No, Prabhu. Kaisa pata?
Okay, a human being who identifies this body made of the three elements. Three elements. Is it the working senses, the senses of acquiring knowledge, the object senses? Are they referring to that? Right?
I forgot, Prabhu. I was thinking about this yesterday also, but I don't remember what is three elements.
Oh yes, Prabhu. I thought it was categorized like that. Okay, a human being. Maybe they will say.
Oh,
It will be stated.
no, not sure actually. I was thinking maybe gross body, subtle body, but it cannot be. What is the three?
Oh yes, yes, Prabhu. A human being who identifies this body made of three elements within his self, who considers the byproducts of the body to be his kinsman, who
Oh,
considers
three elements must be three modes of nature.
or three modes of nature.
Yes,
Oh yes, Prabhu. And they are called the
yes,
unmanifested what elements, something like that.
yes,
Maybe
Prabhu.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure, bro, but can you go to the purport of this verse in Bhagavatam 10:84-13? Maybe Prabhupada might have explained it in detail about these three elements.
Yes, Prabhu.
10:84-13.
And I think chapter 13 too. But then they speak of the 24 elements there, but they are divided because there is I forgot the Mahabhuta.
Oh, there is no mention about the 3 elements in this purport.
Yes, Prabhu.
The words pa Uma
1 second, let me see if I can find out anything about these 3 elements.
Prabhupada, there is a yes, Prabhu.
You please continue. In the meantime, I will check and get back to you.
Okay. Human civilization devoid of Krishna consciousness is simply a civilization of lower animals. Sometimes a civilization may study the dead body and consider the brain or the heart. However, no part of the body is important unless the spirit soul is present. In a modern civilization of cows and asses, scientists try to search out of some value in the brain or heart of a dead man. Semi Prabhu, is there a difference? Like, what's the significance difference between the banyan tree and the the desire tree in the Goloka? Remember, there is a desire tree where with the one that can give you any type of food and everything. But then I heard that the banyan tree is not actually like it's like an allegorical tree, ne, Prabhu? The banyan tree, the reflection of the
The banyan
spirituality.
tree is a long. There's many branches going upwards and everywhere.
And the leaves facing downwards.
Yeah, when it's reflected on the
Spiritual. Actually, when it's in the spiritual
when
world,
it's
the leaves are facing up.
yes, Prabhu, but it's yes, Prabhu, but this banyan tree it's representing the material existence, the
And
world.
sense gratification, and then extra roots of it. Yeah, remember something like that. So I think it's in 15. But then I wanted to know like the difference. Or that this one is
Completely
in
different tree.
the concept of material nature, like in the one is in the spiritual world, right? The other the desire tree.
Yes, Prabhu, it's different tree. The other is Vanchakalpa tree and the other is Ashwatha tree.
And I think you've shown the tree in April, the one that has the Vedas and everything. That is it that tree, right? The one that has no end, actually, no beginning.
Yes, Prabhu, it's in India, this tree.
Okay, bro. Humans. Oh yes,
It's a big tree like this.
but then it's not physical. Ne? We cannot see it with the material eye.
It's a real tree also.
Hmm.
But it represents the material world because
Yeah, I
it
remember reading a quote that
yeah,
says
it
we are just the
spreads everywhere.
reflection.
Yes, Prabhu, the roots are ever extending. See, there's so many roots, they extend everywhere, and there's so many branches.
Oh yes, yes, bro. Is it possible that it's there in India?
Yes, Prabhu. There is this
Hmm.
banyan tree.
I thought it was an allegorical meaning,
Yes, Prabhu, it is
just to
also,
make
but
that.
it's a real tree also.
Oh yes, yes, bro.
It's yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Why is it 10.16 of all trees? I am the Benyani tree. I remember the statements. Morning ritual. Yeah, I can go back, Prabhu.
Did we read this?
Oh, should I? The Benyani, which one? I thought you wanted me to read that.
Oh, I was
Okay, the
thinking.
humans. No, I did not read it. I remember a disturbed you wait. Dead man, very brain or heart. I think with dead soul in the modern civilization of cows and asses. I remember. Or should I just reread it for in case? Human civilization devoid of Krishna consciousness is simply a civilization of lower animals. Sometimes such a civilization may study the dead body and consider the brain or the heart. However, no part of the body is important unless the spirit soul is present. In modern civilization of cows and asses, scientists try to search out some value in the brain or heart of a dead man. Text 25. Yo, I'm going to, after this, I want to watch that, Prabhu. What do you call this?
Yes, Prabhu. This is last verse. Is it long one?
Oh, yeah.
No.
No, I wasn't in a hurry. I was just saying after the reading session.
Yes, Prabhu, but this is last one because we have read over our already.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Where is everyone? Everyone went shopping today. Spaza.
Yes, Prabhu.
Vikrishaya mana Vikrisha Yamanaha Prasabam Yavinana Bali Yasa Navindattamasvashtaha Sakyam Surdam Puraha Vikrisha Yamanaha Prasabam Yava Nina Bali Yasa Damasvishtaha Sakyam Surdam Puraha. Yeah, me and singing are not friends. Synonyms: Vikrishaya Manaha. Am I pronouncing that word correctly? Vikrish. Yeah. Okay, Vikrishaya Manaha. Being dragged. Prasabam. Forcibly. Yavanena. By the Yavana Bali Yasa, who was very powerful. Na Avindat. Could not remember Tamasa by darkness of ignorance, Avishtaha being covered, Sakyam his friend, Surdam always a well wisher, Puraha from the very beginning. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When King Puranjan was being dragged with great force by the powerful Yavana out of his gross ignorance, he still could not remember his friend and well-wisher, the super soul. So, Prabhu, like, are they like, let's say, maybe you were doing a lot of austerities, like, let's say, maybe in the levels of Hiranyakashipu, like people like Kamsa who were fighting for power, like when Yamaraj fetches them, are they able to fight with their soul since they were powerful people? Or they cannot do anything? They are helpless, just like us normal people.
Who, Prabhu? What do you mean? Who?
Like that, like these big like I don't want to say demons, like what do you call Hiranyakashipu, and then people like Kamsa, people like Ravan, people who did austerity, austerity to Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva.
Yes, Prabhu, those they went back to Godhead already, those all you said.
Oh, they went, oh yes. So meaning they were not fetched by Yamaraj, they were fetched by the Vishnu Tattvas.
Yes, Prabhu, they went directly because they were killed by the Lord. So usually they get the liberation of merging into the body.
Oh yes, Prabhu. So meaning basically they are no longer demons as we speak currently.
Yes, Prabhu. I think Jaya and Vijaya are back to their original position.
Yes, Prabhu. And we are still talking about them.
Yes, Prabhu.
We are still calling them demons in a sense. And they're no longer demons.
Yes, Prabhu. That's true.
It's like they are our friends now.
Yes, Prabhu. But we are demons.
Yeah. Honestly.
Now we are small demons.
But demons with no power, Prabhu.
Yes,
Worse
Prabhu.
than demons. At least demons have some material power, They just don't get immortality. We don't even have power, but we want to be controllers. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Bhaktaram yagnam tapasam sarva lokam maheshwaram suhurdam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. The sages knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. Bhagavad Gita 5.29. A person can be in full Krishna consciousness and become happy and satisfied if he knows but three things, namely that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the enjoyer of all benefits, that he is the proprietor of everything, and that he is the supreme friend of all living entities. If one does not know this and functions instead under the bodily conception, he is always harassed by the tribulations offered by material nature. In actuality, the Supreme Lord is sitting by the side of everyone. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hirdideshe arjuna tishtati. Go down, Prabhu. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hirdideshe arjuna tishtati. Baramayan sarva bhutani yantraruttani mayaya. Yantra Rudani Mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Bhagavad Gita 18.61. The living entity and the super soul are sitting side by side in the same tree, but despite being harassed by the laws of material nature, the foolish living entity being can go down, Prabhu. The foolish living entity does not tend toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead for protection. However, he thinks that he is able to protect himself from the stringent laws of material nature. This, however, is not possible. The living entity must tend towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrender unto him. Only then he will be saved from the onslaught of the powerful Yavana or Yamaraj. The word Sakayam, friend, is very significant in this verse because God is eternally present beside the living entity. Sakayama, remember this, I saw it in the verse of 518.19, 518.19, yes. Present besides the living entity, the Supreme Lord is also described as Suhurdam, ever well-wisher. The Supreme Lord is always a well-wisher, just like a father or mother. Despite all the offenses of a son, the father and mother are always the son's well-wisher. Similarly, despite all other offenses and the defiance of the desires of the Supreme Personality, the Lord will give us immediate relief from all the hardships offered by the material nature if we simply surrender unto him. Lord Krishna also confirmed this in Bhagavad Gita. Da ivi hey esha guna mahi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante Mayam etam tarantite. This one is I don't know the sloka, but it's usually mostly quoted, right? This divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who surrender unto me can easily cross beyond it. Yeah. Unfortunately, due to our bad association and great attachment for sense gratification, we do not remember our best friend, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I just thought of Praveen Prabhu when he ends the sentence.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So,
Thank you.
yeah, let us spend a little time on the three elements, Prabhu. I have found out the reference here.
Yes,
See, Levan Prabhu, I hope you remember that we read the Mukandamala 33 verse, maybe in the previous verses, maybe day before yesterday or
I think
prior
it
to
was just that,
it. Yeah, I shared
it was
that
just-
verse as well on WhatsApp with you.
yes, I did
If you
say that.
open that verse, yeah, if you open that verse, maybe if you have it handy right now, see, look at that verse, okay? Mukundamala 33. I'm just reading out that verse, okay? Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjaratmam Advaiva Me Vishatau Manasa Rajahamsa प्राणप्रयाणसमये कपवातपित्तैः कण्ठावरोधन विधौ स्मरणं कुतस्ते. Okay, so in the third line, if you see that the three letter word, okay, kapha, vata, pittaihi, okay, those are the three elements. Kapha means mucus, vata means air, and pitta means bile. These are
Yes,
the
yes, I see,
three
bro.
elements from which the body is made of.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu. Kapha Vata Pitta.
Okay, these are the three elements.
Okay, Prabhu. But like, okay, it's mucus.
Do you have the synonyms of that sloka as well? Otherwise, I
Okay,
don't
no, I
mind
don't have
sharing it.
this. I'm looking at what do you call this? The Sanskrit and the translation only.
Maybe hold on. Sami Prabhu, can I share my screen for some time?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare, Hare Krishna Bhavatana from all of you.
Hare
Jai
Krishna,
Shri
Shubham
Krishna.
Prabhu, Tanda Pranam, Jai
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Prabhupada. Thank you
from
for
Prabhu,
joining.
just accept my obeisances of Lord Srila Prabhupada, Haribo.
Oh, can you see my screen?
It's still loading. Now I can see Prabhu.
Okay, so this is Mukundamala Mantra 33, text 33. Okay. So
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
these are the three elements. Okay. Kapha means,
Yeah,
here it is. Kapha means
mucus.
mucus, vata air, and pitta. Pitta means
So
bile.
Prabhu, can you zoom?
Is there an option for me to zoom in? Where is
Yeah,
it?
but then I can see.
1 second, let me
Prabhu,
try.
after this, can you please share this?
Yes,
What do you call
Prabhu,
this?
it's okay. Okay. I can see.
Yes.
Praveen
Yes,
Prabhu,
see. Uh-huh.
after you're done, Prabhu, can you share me this? What do you call this? I don't know. It's a app. I want
Oh.
what do you
You
call
have
this? I want
to,
this.
you have to follow a little lengthy process for you to install it. Okay, I will guide you how to install it on your laptop or computer, whatever it may be.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hmm. So these are the three elements. Okay, kapha, vata, and pitta.
Okay, yes, Prabhu. Mucus. Uh,
Mucus, air, and bile. Okay, don't say
what is
that it
bile,
is
Prabhu?
pitta. I need to
What is
understand what
bile?
is bile. Okay, I need to see what it is. 1 second. Bile. It's kind of fire, Prabhu. Kind of fire exists in the body, which will be
Digestion.
helpful, which will be helpful for your digestion. Yes.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I think I've read about digestion maybe in chapter 14 or 15, somewhere.
Hmm.
Actually, it was actually it was actually stating about if the fire is too much, sometimes it can cause disaster, to the human being, maybe you might require some treatment. Sometimes if it's low, it depends on hunger,
Hmm. There
sometimes
is a
it depends
sloka
on
as
what
well.
you
See,
just
what is that? What is that sloka? I forgot it.
this app of yours,
Aham vaisva naro bhutva praninan deham asrita pranapana samaitva pachanyam chaturvidam. Where is it? Which chapter is it? Aham vaisva.
15 chapter, bro. 15,
15,
14.
15, 15, 14. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 15, 15, 14. 1 second. 15. Yeah, I am the fire. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life outgoing and incoming, to digest the 4 kinds of food stuff.
Oh yes, isn't it really sucked, chewed,
1 second, I can go here as well.
swallowed, sucked, chewed, swallowed? What? Not swallowed. Licked. Prabhu, do you have almost like all the Upanishads on this, or like is it just carrying only based on maybe Prabhupada only?
No, not all Upanishads are available here. Here it is, 15.
Sarvasya Chaham Hirde
No, sorry, not 15, 15, 14.
This is
Yeah.
15, 14.
14, yeah, this one. Okay. Aham Vaiswanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamasritah Pranapana Samayuktah Pachanyannam Chaturvidham.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
in the
so
purport it's explained.
I am the fire of digestion. Okay, that the name of that fire is Vaiswanaraha. Yes, Vaiswanaraha.
Vaishwanara.
So, according to Ayurvedic Shastra, we understand that there is a fire in the stomach which digests all food sent there. When the fire is not blazing, there is no hunger. And when the fire is in order, we become hungry. Sometimes when the fire is not going nicely, treatment is required. In any case, this fire is representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And
Yeah,
the
this
name
is
of
the
that
one
fire
that is.
is Vaiswanaraha. Okay, Vedic mantras, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 591 also confirm that the Supreme Lord or Brahman is situated in the form of fire within the stomach and is digesting all kinds of food stuff. Yeah, I am Agnir Vaishwanaroyoyam Antah Pureshe Yenedam Annam Pachyate. Therefore, since he is helping the digestion of all kinds of food stuff, the living entity is not independent in the eating process. Unless the Supreme Lord helps him in digesting, there is no possibility of eating. He thus produces and digests food stuff. And by his grace, we are enjoying life. In the Vedanta Sutra 1 to 27, this is also confirmed. Shadadibhyontah Pratishthanacha. The Lord is situated within sound and within the body, within the air, and even within the stomach as the digestive force. There are 4 kinds of foodstuff. Some are drunk, some are chewed, some are licked up, and some are sucked. And he is the digestive force for all of them.
I got it from this purport, Prabhu.
Hmm. Okay, but anyhow, bile is nothing but another type of fire within the body.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. And Prabhu, Agni and the sun god, I remember they're not related, right? It's not like the sun god is the.
No.
It's like, let's say,
Agni and sun god are totally different.
Yes, Prabhu.
They are two
But
different personalities.
oh, yes, Prabhu. But isn't one superior than the other? Like, let's say maybe the sun god is superior to Agni.
Mm,
One is superior,
maybe.
but which
Like,
one?
Maybe,
let's say,
Prabhu.
Prabhu, simple, like example, Lord Shiva is superior to Bahirava, right? And Bahirava is superior like to ghosts. I think he's the god of the ghost, but then Lord Shiva does not directly guide the ghost, right? They go to Bahirava, something like that, and
Yes,
then
yes,
Bahirava
Bhairava,
maybe.
Yes. Lord Shiva is superior to Bhairava, that's for sure. Yeah, Bhairava is the controller of all the ghosts.
Yes. Maybe I thought Agni was something like that to the sun god. Because since the sun planet is on fire, you know.
Yeah, the sun planet contains both heat and fire. Okay, that does not mean that one is superior. But see, as far as I know, sun god is superior to every other planet as well.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu. Including the
Yes,
moon, right?
there is also a description from Samhita. Yachatre Savta Sakalagrahana.
Yes. Out of all the 9 planets, sun is the topmost
Oh, yes,
planet.
Prabhu. Like the material planets, Prabhu.
I
Like
don't
actually,
say
Prabhu,
planets.
there are two
It's
types
not.
of. There actually, yeah, like there was I was stating that the two types of material planets, because there are
What are
those
those?
certain Jupiter, Neptune,
Yes. Those
you
are
know.
those are the planets. Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Those are
yes.
the planets, and the sun is one of the planets out of the
Oh,
9.
yes, the solar planet. Yes.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yes, yes.
so Praveen Prabhu, there is a book written
But
by
Prabhu,
Prabhupada Gita Gaon in Bengali. So Prabhu, this is a Bengali version of Bhagavad Gita. So there is nice meter in to remember. So can I learn that, Prabhu?
I didn't get you properly.